good, guys? The Everyday Struggle team is back on the East Coast. I'm Nadeska, that's Akademiks. He is Wayno.
I am.
We are back from ComplexCon. How you feeling, my friends?
I feel good. I'm a little sluggish, though.
Had fun out there. I was very happy to meet our lovely supporters, you know. I be telling people, man, that's what I got to tell the building, man, like, listen, don't let nothing fool you. When we go in real life, get a lot of love, you know?
Yeah, Wayno was taking pictures, selfies with Lil Pump, so he definitely had a great time.
It was not a selfie.
You did. I did see that.
I saw you
Your
guys
brother
take
took
selfies.
the picture. It was not a selfie. A selfie is when you do this shit.
Sure.
I didn't do that.
That's what you posted, but I saw you taking selfies.
I posted the pic. I posted the pic.
Could we address a couple things real quick? We gotta get to the game interview, by the way.
I already know what he about to say.
No, I don't think you do.
What?
Was I wrong for, because I saw some comments, people like, yo, you threw Wayne under the bus.
What?
Me, I just like the same energy, because Wayne, I was arguing one day for the game, and Wayno was going mad hard against me. The game pulls up, and Wayno is like, he's acting like he never like pretty much knocked the game out of that top 3 conversation, which the game did agree with you that
he put it in the context of what I was saying. Right. Now, see what you did was you tried to flip it, and after we was done, game was like, this nigga tried to put me against you. Yeah. Right after, but
I tried to clear it up, but then you guys kept cutting me off.
No, what it was down musically.
Yeah, but you guys were having a different argument.
Yeah.
Again.
What it was is I just said that he wasn't making better music than Roddy Ricch at the moment. Nothing to take away from his skill set. You took it as he turned it into, this nigga said you don't belong in no list.
Right.
Oh, I forgot that was the conversation.
Exactly.
You were talking
but
historically speaking.
I would have brought that up too. Like
I said that, Akademiks.
You did.
Said it there on the stage during the game interview.
I'm just saying the game, I just still think he's a top 3 rapper out of the West.
Oh, I don't feel like I was thrown under the bus. It was cool.
Nah, game was cool. He didn't care.
Yeah, I have to shout out Harold's Chicken, yo. Harold's Chicken.
What the? Wait, no, stop it. Who's cut?
Harold's Chicken. Yeah, I ain't get no Harold's Chicken this weekend.
Right, Are they sponsoring you? Wayno, what's happening?
Let me just finish addressing.
It was so good.
Let me just finish addressing the interview. The interview was great. I missed one question. I think I got everything off. And by the way, salute to the game for being very talkative. Yeah. You know, like he could have like been like someone like you're trying to grab a teeth out of his mouth and not trying to give up information. Yeah. But like he's spoken a lot of things I was eventually gonna ask. I didn't really get to ask him fully about it because he mentioned Meek Mill a couple times. You know, he's cool with Meek Mill now. I don't know why, you know, like it felt a little the way he brought him up, but also secondly, I didn't ask him about Wack 100. So the comments about Nipsey. But other than that, I thought he handled every question great, not apologetic. Clearly he was telling people, y'all me, I don't give a fuck about what y'all think.
It was fun. We asked questions and he just went.
Yeah, super candid. The only issue, if you guys get mad at me here about trying to cut the episode short because we're on a production schedule, it was really tight there. We only had like 30 minutes, which was really hard to cram in all that stuff because he was offering up things that we thought were off limits even, which was amazing.
Ain't nothing off limits, but we took 4 extra minutes than we were really allowed. This is production schedule. It's like shows after shows, but he did say he's coming back to New York, and when he comes back to New York, he says he's gonna stop here. He's gonna be promoting the album, so hopefully we could get that 2-hour interview.
Yeah, so yo, if you were there and saw the show live, thank you for coming. We definitely appreciated it, and we do have a couple questions from people who weren't in the audience. Here's one. The game interview was really dope. Appreciate that he's not afraid to say anything and keeps it real, but do you think that sometimes being too blunt could hurt an artist's career in the long run? So I think this also came up in the context of like him rapping about Kim K on that snippet that went viral a few months ago. Nipsey, him just saying he doesn't really care. What do you guys think?
I think it hurts you if you're not established. Like if you're not an established artist and your music hasn't hit yet. That's the biggest thing. Like if you got a hit, people usually will accept any and everything you say, all types of bullshit. We've seen that most recently with all of this other hoopla. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think it's just determined upon like who you are. Like if you are established as an artist, you could damn near say anything. People is looking for it.
True.
Well, it depends on what you mean. What do you mean as blunt? Because you can be blunt in 2 different ways where you're honest, but you're not like overtly crossing like boundaries that like just even society or just like politically correct. Like it's like, yo, what are you talking about, right? So like you could be the Kanye's, right?
Or you could be Russ. Russ is blunt in a different way.
Russ is blunt, but even Russ, you know, he gets flack for that. Or you can be like Vince Staples. I feel like he's super blunt and like people usually applaud what he's saying because a lot of times there's a little humor with it, and it's about the way you're being blunt, right? So you can get whatever opinion across, and it's not like, and also it's about certain things. Like if you're going off on, this is 2019, if you're going off on people in the LGBTQ community, like yeah, like I don't know if that's bluntness rather than like offensiveness.
Right.
And even if you're established, we've seen, yeah, you might have to get shut down for a little bit.
Yeah, canceled, right?
Cancel for a little bit.
Right.
Put on pause.
All right, we have another one. Hey, Everyday Struggle, loved your Game interview. My question is, do you think if Game never left G-Unit, they would have had a 10-year run like Drake? And who do you think the breakup hurt most, Game or the rest of G-Unit?
G-Unit didn't have a 10-year run without Game. I think Game damn near had a 10-year run as well. Like, seriously, I mean, if they started in 2000, well, if we be in technical numbers terms, like, it probably wasn't all the way 10 years, but it felt like it. I mean, think about G-Unit from 2002, that's when 50 Cent or G-Unit is the Future mixtape came out, till maybe, 2009, that's when 50 started to dip a bit, and then even Banks came back with, like, Beamer, Benz, and Bentley in 2010 and all of that shit. You know what I mean? Started up, record with Kanye, Swiss Beats. So they had a hell of a run. Game, too. I mean, Game is on his 10th album.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have definitely been better if they could have kept this shit together, but those many strong personalities, alpha males around each other, that shit is not going to be the way we want it to be.
By the way, as I go back and I watch that interview like 3 times before I answer the question. No, seriously.
He's obsessed.
I like studying shit because like it's information I can use later in debates. It was very interesting that he said that his passion wasn't rapping. It never was.
Right.
I thought he was gonna say it grew to be something else. Like for him to be that good of a rapper and him to say it wasn't ever his passion, I was shocked. Secondly, I think when the person's saying a 10-year run, they're meaning 10 years on top. Not just 10 years in the game. Because like you're a career artist at that point when you drop 2 albums, whether, Beg for Mercy was a group album, but also Get Rich or Die Trying, The Massacre, and of course you had like other albums from people on G-Unit. But I think around 2007, it felt like 50 was kind of on his lonesome and carrying the flag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Banks has kind of fell back, Ye was kind of doing his thing, but like wasn't what we expected or what we seen in 2004. I just don't believe that even if they stayed together, it would have been 10 years on top.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been
And
10 years on top.
the reason why is that, just like how I remember infamously, I can't remember who said it, but it was somebody from Rockefeller. I think it was Jay, I guess, right? It was like, when 50 was coming through, nigga came like a hurricane. It was
Yeah.
We knew the shit was gonna change. I just believe right when Kanye then Drake happens, like right at 2007, it was a change in times.
Yeah.
That people were really ready for a new type of wave, and I'm sorry, if Drake and Kanye are starting to propel, I just don't see how that still lines up with like 50 beat on top.
You know what's crazy? A lot of people don't talk about the mid-2000s when it comes to music. It was a very, very weird time. You know what I mean? A lot of people were in and out fast. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Being on top is definitely different than having just a 10-year run coasting. But I would rather take, being on top. The only thing about being on top is when you're not on top anymore, it's so evident. So I would probably take 1 or 2 years on top and then coast the rest.
Okay. Let's see. We have one more fan question, but I don't know if we should do this one.
Why not?
Should we?
Yeah, why not?
All right. The question is, who had the better debut album, 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying or The Game's documentary?
Again, this is a
Just
question.
answer it.
No.
Just answer it.
It's a setup.
It's
a setup
not.
because you have to go with, you got to go with, it's a rhetorical question actually. You got to go with Get Rich or Die Trying because the argument, if you start to debate, 50 gave he gave 6 songs to the documentary that contributed to the documentary being good. So it's like you can't win by saying documentary, honestly.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I mean, for me,
What's your pick?
It's Get Rich or Die Trying, but can't negate how dope of an album documentary is, even though it's not my favorite Game album. Even with 50 giving those songs, take the factor of if the chicken or the egg, what came first, they're both 2 good albums, but I would go with Get Rich or Die Trying.
Both classics, absolutely. It's just that you're not gonna win that argument, especially when one.
It depends on what coast you on. It depends on what coast you
We're
on.
back on the East Coast right now.
No. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Do you think that varies? I think even on the West they're saying Get Rich or Die Trying.
I never really dealt with, what's crazy? For a lot of friends that I have in LA, I never really had real conversations with them about that album, about documentary. Or what it means to the West Coast.
That's interesting. We should have probably got that answer while we're out there. Maybe next time. Or some West Coast fans could weigh in.
Absolutely.
Yo, Let us know. Check out the game interview if you have not seen it yet. Right now, let's get into some slightly technical music conversations. So in a recent GQ interview, Rick Rubin spoke with Pharrell about a lot of things, including the Blurred Lines lawsuit that he was dealing with, him and Robin Thicke, back in 2015. So the lawsuit said at the time that the song shared a style and feel that was too similar to Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up. So here's Rick Rubin explaining why he thinks this was all really bad for business.
It's bad for music. And now, based on that one case, now there's a question what a song is.
Yeah.
And your chords, your melody, and your words, none of them had anything to do.
Nope.
Yes.
Because I had the ability to make something feel very similar.
Yes.
They said, you know what? This is wrong. If it feels like it, that's what it is. Well, you can't copyright a feeling, because if that's the case, there will be a lot of marijuana cases right now.
All right, so Pharrell also added that all the accusations of plagiarism definitely hurt his feelings because he would never take anything from anyone. He says this lawsuit set him back in time. What effect do you guys think this case had on music? Or do you agree with Rick Rubin?
I don't know if so while in theory I agree, when you go back and listen to Blurred Lines and you go back and listen to Marvin Gaye's song, it's just hard for me to say that there wasn't any inspiration. And if you're still claiming that there was zero inspiration, and again, I think that's where the debate lies, like what part of inspiration should that person own a part of your song? And again, if y'all got the chord progressions that might be a little bit the same, some of the percussion that's used a little bit the same, and that feeling word is very subjective. It's kind of like saying, yo, you copied my shit, but you didn't copy like exactly what it is. Like you copied it to almost create a replica, but you changed a few distinct things, right? And I'm sorry, like I kind of agree, like that shit is heavily inspired by Marvin Gaye, his record. So I'm not mad at that, but I can understand as an artist that you probably feel that you made your art a little different enough that you felt that it should be considered on its own. Again, it's the music business, and again, it's probably one of those things that it got hurt because of how successful it got. If it wasn't that successful, they don't give two fucks. But that song, I remember reading like the court documents for it, made $32 million at the time when the lawsuit was first filed. Yeah, if it sounds anything like my shit, I'm gonna file a lawsuit.
So it's a lot of, they write in it where it mess shit up, but like, cause it puts an extra magnifying glass on everything. The problem that I have with this is like, cause when we talk about hip hop culture or just like music in general and like those who paved the way for us prior to do what we do now, I think a lot of this shit gets unfair. I mean, and
In what way?
because I don't think that Pharrell had ill intention by what he did. It's like if
Does that matter?
it does. I feel like it should. It doesn't in legal terms. It don't matter, but I feel like it should. I feel like if you intentionally take and flip and bounce somebody's shit and you try to do it to a degree of let me try to hide it or mask it, then yeah, you should sue the hell out of them. But we're talking about Pharrell, a person that's a pioneer, respected, one of the greatest musical minds we've ever seen. I think that it's unfair for him to be treated in this way because how do we progress musically?
Right, but
Like,
they're gonna say that you can't prove someone's intent. But then we see it. So someone like Juice WRLD, he's really been going through it with Lucid Dreams, right? The recent one, they're saying Yellow Card, he copied melodic elements. You guys say you didn't even hear it.
I feel like that's different though. Only reason why I feel like that's different is because with Lucid Dreams, and I don't know who originally wrote this shit. I mean, as far as the chords and progressions, but I know it's a Sting thing and it's down the third. We talking about Marvin Gaye, we talking about Pharrell. And then when I think about that, I think about black music. You know what I mean? And I remember one time Saigon said some shit. He was trying to get T-Pain on a feature. And he was like, yo, this motherfucker wanted to charge me $50,000 or $100,000. He's like, I'm an up-and-coming artist and I really fuck with his shit. Like, I understand the money game. Like, I'm not negating the business of it, but I'm just saying it's like everything becomes into this money grab where it's like it doesn't progress the music. Like, now, like, and not knocking Gucci, but remember what Gucci said? I ain't got to promote your shit. You pay me for a record, I just do that. You know what I mean? I ain't got to, it's a money grab for him, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to hip-hop music or just black music in general, not just regulating it to hip-hop, but black music in general, I feel like this is what pushes some of the shit back. Because I feel like, yeah, there should be some clearances in there, right? But a lawsuit for that amount of money, then it changes the cycle of how all music is looked at. It makes people scared to even say, yo, I listen to Marvin Gaye and I'm inspired by him. You can't even do nothing in the realm of him of what you might have grew up listening to because you don't want to get all your money taken away from you. So I think it kind of, Rick Rubin is right. It did change everything and it kind of fucked it up a bit.
Yeah, 100%. This is how I look at it. You know, I was really, I was looking into like patent law, like recently, randomly. Like this is one like African American guy who he claims he has a patent for the turn signal that's on like your like side mirror, and now it's used in every car. Like you, when a car is signaling left, you see the
turn signal on the car. Right.
Yeah, and basically he said like Mercedes and all these companies, they got around without paying him anything for a patent, even though he has it. And the whole thing became, what does the person who maybe kickstarted an idea or showed you something that worked before, and even if you bettered it or you're progressing it, is that person still owed? So then you think about like, just really how rap music is. Like, I'm not gonna lie, just even me as a fan, when it comes to sample music, like we were just talking off air about Sweetie My Type. That shit clearly samples Petey Pablo. What's the name of the joint? Freaky League, right? When you actually hear that record, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I don't even like Sweetie's music, I gotta be honest. I've never liked the Sweetie song. But that beat and her on it, I like it. I like that song. It's the first song I ever liked from her. Now, how much is due to that being her, and how much is due to it being
something that you're familiar with?
All
right, but look, this is the only thing I say, Act. Happy belated birthday to Diddy. His birthday was yesterday, right? What would Diddy be musically? What would Bad Boy or Diddy's legacy be if he couldn't pay homage to the shit that we listen to? He said it. Take hits from the 80s and make them sound so crazy. Majority of the records that we love Diddy for, that we love Mace for, even Biggie, Juicy, even Pac to a certain extent, was sampling shit from the 70s, James Brown shit, all of that, right? If we put ourselves in a position, what are we saying for our generation behind us? Like when Jay-Z cleared the Annie sample, his whole thing was, if I could use it, I just want to put something in it to where any artist behind me can be able to use it too, because he was the first person to use it. So my thing, I'm just saying, it's like, I understand money and all of that, but at the same time, we always talk about hip-hop culture not being ours and us not owning it and this, that, and the third. Where do we sit ourselves in the game where we just like, if I can make this music that you grow up on and you love and you're a fan of me, but if you use elements, then I need 100%.
So, and I think that's where my disagreement with you is. And I think this is an open and ongoing conversation. I don't think there's a right and a wrong.
Yeah.
I think as like, especially a creator, right? Like even I see even Kanye, like, you know, Kanye does a lot of things first, sometimes maybe not to the best, but he's progressive in it. As you see people later on come and perfect his ideas.
Right.
I think that person, it's about, to me, it's intellectual property. You know, like if I got an idea, like, yo, honestly, when I look at this, like in clear terms, right? So when I look at the whole Pharrell thing, homie should have motherfucking cleared this shit, bro. Like, again, unless you're really standing on that you weren't inspired, you should have went to, and you know this exists because you work in labels. You should have went to a musicologist.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna listen to both joints, right? And again, if you as a creator knew you were inspired, you go to that person's, that person is trained and would get brought in court if there's a lawsuit. So you go to them before. Hey, is this similar enough that we gotta clear it? If they say, hey, it's similar or whatever, I don't know if this whole feeling thing is much new.
Yeah.
You get it clear before, but I really think most of the, like, there's nothing wrong with sampling.
Yeah.
Like, I know it makes people want to sample less, even labels, when they see samples, they run away. But if you clear the shit ahead of time, you could be fine.
Let me ask you this in closing, right? So, how you do your format with your blog videos, right?
There you go.
I noticed, like, you the first person I ever used to hear say like your name really fast. Like you say Akademiks, right? And then you kind of close it out with that. And then there's other content that I watch that they kind of do the same thing. Now, do you feel, if there was a way to, do you feel like you should, like nobody should be able to use that but you? And you kind of, and I could be wrong. You might have heard something else that inspired you to do that. But do you feel like you kind of coined that and people that come behind you that do that should pay homage, or do you just appreciate them saying, yo, I fuck with Akademiks doing that, that's why I kind of use my name in the end or closing?
Hey,
like the same way.
The 22-year-old version of me would have, I'm just happy that someone is acknowledging that I inspired them.
Right.
The near 30 version is like, yo, that's an intellectual property of mine, and if it could be protected via a trademark, a copyright, or whatever, again, not saying you can't use it, but on the scale that you use it, I'm making nickel and dimes. If you gonna make 40 million, I'm sorry, I need something.
I feel you.
You get me? So I understand.
But then that's always a conversation particular to where the person is at.
It is.
Right?
It is, and that's why I understand the plight of Pharrell, but I can't knock Marvin Gaye and his estate for trying to, protect his rights as well.
Ed Sheeran is going through it with his estate now too, for copyright infringement as well.
Ed Sheeran and Marvin Gaye?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess some estates are obviously going to be tougher than others.
Right.
The copyright rules, real quick, the copyright rules are changing as we speak, like even now. Again, the only thing that's unfair is that we shouldn't give people the advantage just because you came before. And even though there's infinite notes and how you can put them together, so theoretically there's infinite melodies, like certain melodies are consistent with certain type of music. And if you're telling me that if Marvin Gaye used a melody which is like gonna be a popular melody just for that genre, everybody gotta pay him? I understand that conversation. Yeah. Maybe somehow you get it where they're not taking half of the song or bullying you later where you put it out and they go to court and they take a lot of it. I understand that being a conversation, but I do agree that everyone should get paid for their intellectual property.
Agree there too.
Cool. And they had to pay up 5.3 mil. They didn't have to pay like the 32 or whatever that big
For real?
was. Yeah.
Man, Pharrell.
5.3 million is a lot of money, man.
That is. After you made 32?
Yeah, it wasn't 32.
If I'm Pharrell, I would have.
But that's not 32 to one person. That's 32. You remember it splits in the record.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's not that's not.
The label get half. Tip, you give 100,000 because Tip was on the record. Robin thinking Pharrell, y'all pay a million. Like, what's
that's
up?
what makes it hard for you to say like, all right, cool, go ahead, just
It's
pay
more than
homage
that.
and use my music, right? Because it's not just you. There's so many parties involved. People are gonna want their money.
Right.
We'll see.
We'll
It's gonna continue. We have a fan question.
Let somebody sample drop it like it's hot like in 30 years.
Oh no, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Let somebody sample drop it like it's hot, and Pharrell gonna be sitting there doing the same thing. I'm just telling y'all that.
Right.
We'll do this one real quick. This is an easy one. How long usually does a sample take to clear? Of course, that varies, right? And if a sample is being used for a song in a mixtape, does it still need to get cleared even though it's not under a major?
Can I just not a major imprint? Can I just tell all these kids, please do not be gassed when you see mixtape. Mixtape is the same shit as an album. The same money is spent. When you sign to a label, if you put together a project that you feel is an album, and they don't feel it's an album, they gonna call it a mixtape. They spend all the money on the beats, they spend money on marketing. Niggas is not shooting all these good videos because they got friends with nice cameras. Everything costs money. All these things are albums in those terms on a contract. A sample can take a week, or that shit could take 6 months, or it can never happen. There's no gauge on when it can clear.
And for the mixtape you're talking about, just current, like for Lil Wayne on like No Ceilings.
See, when he did No Ceilings, shit was totally different.
Right.
When he did No Ceilings, I'm pretty sure Lil Wayne did all of that, and that's when Dat Piff was ahead of the streaming game when nobody knew what it was, or all those other sites that we was pirating like shit from, and they was giving it directly to them, and they was cashing out because they was getting tons of ad revenue when you get an exclusive Lil Wayne project. It's different now. So when you see shit go up, that's why every album or every tape that comes out now, that shit hits on every single DSP. You know, because it's paid for. The shit is paid for. These artists that be telling you that they independent are fucking signed. Seriously.
Okay. You want to add anything before we move on? Or you good?
No. I mean, I think he covered
That's
it all.
very thorough. Thank you, Wayno. All right, we want to run through some new music in our segment, Brick Hit or Wait on It. We're going to start with, we don't have our little
ain't got our cards
That's
today.
That's fine. You guys just be extra enthusiastic. We're going to start with 21 Savage, Immortal. This dropped on Halloween. Brick Hit or Wait on It. Wayno.
Hit. Shouts out to Kid Hazel. Very, very dope producer. Does a lot of 21 Savage shit. I'm due for some new 21 music, man. I like the approach that he takes, though. He puts shit out. He lets people live with the music. We've lived with I Was for a year. almost. Ready for some new 21 music? I say hit.
Same. Ak?
21's my homie. Ain't gonna lie to you. I hold him to a high standard though.
Okay.
I'm gonna say wait on it. I think this is a teaser. I think it's a teaser. Like, I know the heat he got is a little bit harder than this. Not even a little bit, a lot harder than this. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna wait on it. And I think this was just a signal of, yo, let's see how much fans miss me. And by the way, it was like top 3 on the iTunes chart or the Apple Music chart instantly. So I think something else will come soon.
Okay. How about Love Me More from Trippie Redd? So this is going to be on his upcoming project, A Love Letter to You 4.
I'm actually saying this is a hit. It's a hit. I think Trippie, I seen the video. They went all out with the video, like some helicopter stuff. I think Trippie's had a couple of hits that people have slept on. Immortal, like, especially of the last album. I don't know if it was fully worked, but like, again, I heard a lot of good songs by him that like, I don't think people have acknowledged. And unfortunately, like when he was a little bit more visible, when it was like the whole, like they just garnered the whole industry attention with 6ix9ine and like him, like people are paying attention to music much more, but like Trippie's been putting out some good music recently. And this I do believe is a hit.
All right, Wayno, I know Trippie's never been necessarily for you, but you're open-minded. Thoughts on this?
I like some of Trippie music.
No, that's not in a bad way.
He's like
not your favorite, but you like some songs.
I never used those terms. You said that. I never called this man a dying
I'm not trying to turn this
goat.
into a gay moment, I promise.
Yo, he always want to do this shit, but nah, Trippie has been rapid at putting out music. He's been rapid at putting out music. I say wait on this though, because I feel like Trippie's music is always like a slow burn. Like even with the album that I wasn't a big fan of, I still didn't like that one, but the one after that, like I think that for me it's a slow burn, so I say wait on it.
Okay.
Immortal's fire. Game's on that too. Like it's just so fire.
All right, last one is from Vince Staples. This one is called Sheet Music from his upcoming project, The Vince Staples Show.
I say wait on it. I love what Vince is doing right now because he's taking a different approach than I've ever seen when it comes to rolling out music. It's called The Vince Staples Show. It seems like every episode or music video that he kind of puts out is some sort of different show about him, which is showing different shades of his music. So I say wait on it.
I'm gonna say hit, and I'm comparing him to himself, like I try to do with a lot of these other artists. His last project and how he rolled out like the singles,
Radio shit, like how he was on the radio and all that.
Yeah, I remember the first one. I was like, this one I actually like. So I'm gonna say hit because shit rocks with me. And I like this little unique way he's putting it out. I think it should work.
All right. Thank you. Ak, you want to take us through some numbers?
Oh, yeah, of course. This is a Kanye. Hey, listen, man. If Kanye was really on his arrogant shit and he wasn't with God, man, he would tell a lot of niggas to suck his dick. I ain't gonna lie to you. For real talk. Why is your face like
Why you
that?
guys say suck his dick? Like,
Because everybody was down to him.
why we have to use that term? Or like,
You're from New York. Now you don't know why people use that. All right, man. Kanye West, Jesus is King is the #1 album on the Billboard Top 200 album chart this week.
So what?
264, the hate. 264,000 albums first week. To keep it real, really impressive. Like, remember, it was dominating the Apple Music, like, top 10 list. And this is not 25 tracks, not 36 tracks. It's 11 tracks. I gotta give it credit, okay? It's his 9th consecutive debut at #1. And of course, Post Malone still hanging in there with #2 at 81,000 sold. Youngboy, who honestly is this is why word of mouth is so good. He's really consistent. He's still at #4, selling 64,000. Like the percentage drop off, he's having almost no drop off, just because people are consuming this album at the same pace. Dababy though, who I saw walking by at ComplexCon with like that. Yo, that big ass security, you can see him anywhere, man. Like, I forgot what homie's name, but he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's at #6 this week with 40,000 sold. And Young Thug, I got to keep him in the top 10. He's actually at 10 this week with 28,000 sold with So Much Fun. So, Wayno and a lot of people, even I admit that, like, that album has a lot of replay value.
yes.
Hopefully, it could ride out the rest of the year in the top 10.
Yes. One of my favorite albums this year.
Thank you, Ak. All right, it's time today for Big Facts or BS. We're gonna start with Boosie on a very serious topic. Take a look.
I just sent my little niggas to the SBE to the Popeyes, right? Nigga waited in the line for 49 minutes and 53 seconds for this Popeyes sound. And I'm mad. Because I've been bucked up about this bitch. This bitch is regular. I don't give a fuck what no nigga say. This bitch regular, man.
This is the first bad review I've heard of this sandwich.
It's cool. Like the sandwich is, it's a chicken sandwich. I don't know what people expect. It's a chicken sandwich. Like if you've had a chicken sandwich and you had Popeyes, you could pretty much guess what the Popeyes chicken sandwich is gonna taste like. Like it's a fucking chicken sandwich. You know what I mean?
Wayno and Boosie's tweaking.
Oh, you
This
actually
is
had
lies.
it?
This is fire. Like what y'all
Of
talking
course,
about?
acting
Yo,
is
niggas
fire.
is dying over chicken sandwiches,
Yeah,
bro.
it's so unfortunately, people are dying. over this
Unfortunately, here's the thing. This sandwich is a little bit over the top. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But, again, it's become like pop culture. Boosie's probably the guy that tastes like, no disrespect for like jail food, bro. Like, come on, man. Bro, we can't appreciate the
What
chicken
the fuck
sandwich.
are you talking about? He has an appreciation for jail food.
No, he probably still used to that shit.
No, he's not. He hasn't been in jail for mad long. What the fuck are you talking
Well, he was
about?
there for mad long, too.
Oh, my
What the
God.
fuck is he eating these days? I just want to know. What are you eating?
He's from the South, man. They eat a lot of shit.
Nigga, you
there.
don't even eat a lot of fried shit. You've been on your healthy wave.
Yeah,
I gotta get on my
the
healthy
fried
wave. But
stuff.
still, listen, I won't be trying to chicken sandwich this time around. But it's good. It's amazing.
I want to know how he feels about Chick-fil-A.
Are they
sandwiches.
sponsoring you?
No.
He asked if they sponsored. Was Harry
I'm just saying
sponsoring
that,
me?
nigga, we've never seen niggas act this crazy since they had them joint releases with the long lines.
Exclusivity. That's all it is. Exclusivity.
It's not exclusivity.
It
nigga.
is. They're cutting it off at a certain time. After a certain time, they stop selling them, and you got to come back the next day.
How you know this? You say you'll eat it.
No, I've had one. I had it when it first came out, my
Nigga, you only had one. That's why you saying this bullshit. You gotta order 2 or 3, nigga.
See, 2 or 3.
All right, guys, so a couple quick stories before we go. So according to a report from the Mercury News, a white teacher named David Carter from a high school out in California wore blackface in class in order to portray Common on Halloween. Obviously, this does not go over well. The school board issued a statement, saying his actions were inappropriate, unprofessional, and he was put on leave for his actions.
Yo, you know what was... All right, you know what's funny about
That
this?
nigga look extra crispy. You're like, that's dark. Common not that dark. Common more like a caramel brown, man. That nigga look like he was going for Michael Blackson.
This
That's
the
crazy.
funny shit. All he had to do... Why did he put that shit on his face to be Common? Common is not nowhere near that dark. All he had to do was draw like the little mustache goatee around his face. And that would have been good enough. They'd be like, who are you, Common? Oh, I get it. Like, it would have been no beef. It would have been no beef if he didn't put that shit on his face.
Hold on.
You Common?
Again,
Okay.
let's at least have a constructive discussion here.
Okay.
It's Halloween.
Right.
Y'all dressing up, niggas dressing up as devils.
All types of shit.
All type of stuff, right?
Right.
How does a person of Caucasian descent,
European descent.
okay,
European
okay,
descent.
how do they portray like, I don't know, like a Kodak? They can't be mad white and pale.
Okay, but look, but Common is not dark skinned. You said Kodak.
All right.
If I would have...
No, let's take it off
So
of
we're
Common.
arguing about just the tone of his
Let's take it off of
blackface.
Common because here's the thing.
I can tell you how a white person could have did Kodak. They could have just did the crazy hair. All they got to do is the hair and the grills. If they do the hair and the grills and the chain, you'd be like, who you? Kodak. Oh, I get it. You didn't have to put no fucking shit on your face, and it would have been more acceptable, and it would have been more funny.
The reason why this is like flagrantly wrong is that number one, you're a teacher, so I'm assuming that you're educated enough, especially about history, and you should know that blackface, that's not acceptable even in Halloween just because of its historical relevance, especially in culture. But I'm not gonna lie, like he went a little bit too heavy on the makeup too. Nigga look like he just rubbed charcoal on his face. That's crazy, yo.
Nigga, historical relevance of the in history, just
Roger,
period.
you have more information. The teacher was trying to imitate Common's 2018 Microsoft commercial. What was he doing in the commercial?
That's probably the only thing he knew of Common.
What?
Probably the only thing he knew.
All right, so let me ask you a tough question again.
What?
So do you think that he just went too far, or is it like undercover racism here? Because blackface, when I see blackface, it's like, you got the historical significance of it is like, yo, some minstrel show, like
we know
all of that type of shit,
that.
right? So now I'm seeing you do that for Halloween. Is that like the one day your feelings could come out?
Well, I don't know this nigga. So let's just start there.
No.
I don't know him. So
We gonna make it up.
we'll make it up. All right. So look. Damn. I don't know. Yo, I think that he made a bad decision, man. It's just a bad decision. I think, you know what it is? I think, like, they don't think that it's blackface. Like, they when they do this shit, they just, he's just a bozo.
Because I've never seen one of these, like, teachers, well, we've seen some other idiots, but not, like, one of these people who you wouldn't expect to be doing some dumb shit.
Yeah. Right.
Like, dress up as a KKK. Like, it seems like people kind of realize, like,
they never do that.
They'll do the blackface, but they're not like, oh yeah, we're just dressed up as KKK.
All he had to do.
They'll dress up as Freddy Krueger, Jason, like, or everybody else, but they won't dress up as KKK.
I haven't seen any white teachers dress as the Black Panther either.
There's a costume idea for next year.
That's easy though. You don't have to put nothing on. Just have to wear a mask.
Just a mask.
But if he wanted, all he had to do was draw the goatee. He'd have been good. He did bad.
Wayno's out for consultation for your Halloween.
He wasn't gonna look like that, bro.
Yes, he would.
Nah, man. Nah.
They would have to ask, who are you?
Just the goatee is
just
like.
Just the goatee. When you think of Common, what do you think of?
I do think of that,
a bald nigga with a goatee.
I definitely don't think of a pale-faced dude. Common.
Okay.
Even if you shave your head.
Let's move on. I feel like
gotta get a spray on tan. What about that? Spray on tan.
There you go.
Nah.
Compromise that.
Nah.
Spray on tan.
No, it's not gonna work.
White people use spray on tan.
Hey.
Suppose they use the orange joint that Donald Trump used.
You wanna go to the next topic?
Let's go to the next one.
I'm just trying to tell y'all, man.
Okay. All right, so, Kodak Black has been locked up for a while, unfortunately. So last week, Miami's local News 10 reported that Kodak got into a fight with another inmate, and during the fight, he kicked a correctional officer in the groin when he tried to break up the fight. Apparently, it was so bad that the guard reportedly ended up with injuries that required hospitalization.
It's a hell of a kick.
I heard it was surgery. I don't know how you get kicked in the balls and you need surgery. Like, that seems extreme. Regardless, I remember when Gucci sat right there, and, he was really talking about his, like, just not only rehabilitation, but, like, him going through the system time and time again and getting fed up. And I'm wondering, Kodak is really young, like 23, almost, 23, 24. Like, at what point? For Gucci, like, keep in mind, he's around, like, 40
38,
now.
he said. 39, he's 39.
Yeah, right? So, for Gucci, it happened in the last 2 to 3 years when he was 36. And I'm like, could Kodak keep doing this for 10 years? I'm hoping this happens sooner because every time he comes out of jail, we usually hear that he was, getting closer to the Lord. He was doing certain things to change his life. But who knows?
Maybe he needs to listen to Jesus is King.
Hey, I am formulating a theory though. I do think maybe some mental discipline for Kodak. Kodak, whether it's lean or whatever, that he's gained weight over the years, just like how Gucci was gaining weight. Maybe he comes out like mad skinny and whatever, and like he's like all the way in tune with staying in the right path.
Seem very hopeful, Akademiks.
It's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen. Some gotta give. This should, like, at some point, you're gonna get the life in prison. You're gonna either get, like, unfortunately killed, or you have the Gucci redemption story, and a lot of people learn from that. What do you think, nigga?
I don't
feel like you don't got no hope, man.
I know.
You got no hope for little Kodak?
I don't think anything, man. I don't think anything.
All right, so we hope things work out a little bit better for Kodak. We want to wrap up the show with some news from Tory Lanez. Wayno's really going to appreciate this one. While he was speaking to Hip Hop DX, he explained why Tyga's getting unlimited features for the rest of his life.
And the fact that y'all all be going to the same person, is it like a promo code or something? Like,
nah, the thing about it is like, yo, like when I had met Tyga and I was like, yo, I will give you unlimited features for the rest of your life. Like, he has an unlimited feature pass with me for giving up the secret.
That secret.
For giving up the secret.
Hey, what is throw my nigga though. Chick's tape dropping soon. Let me just throw his plug up off top. Hey, Tyga tweeted it out. Like, what type of secret is he? Tyga tweeted out the doctor's
This was before that, though. This was before that.
So before?
Yeah, this was before that.
No. He got to touch up with something, because that little chia pet shit that's growing, that little front roof shit that's growing.
You don't like it?
Nah, it's like too LeBronish, man. Like, to keep it real,
that's
man.
his hair, man.
Bro, he stage dives with that shit and he sweats like this much. That shit's disinteresting.
You know what I like? I like the fact that he's embracing it, man. Shouts out to Tory Lanez.
I think it looks good.
There's mad niggas embracing it right now. Like, I don't like, you can't be that thick with it, because you know why? It looks darker than the rest of your head, and he got to fade with it.
But it looks intentional.
It looks fine.
I don't know.
Wait,
that makes you hating, man.
See, Wayno just, they call hair plugs, Wayno. Like,
nah, man.
You get enough money too. Like, you could really, you know what I mean? You could really, like, yo, When I see his and Envy's, they got the same. I don't know what.
Envy don't got no.
All right, man. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done.
We're done here today.
I was at the airport yesterday, man. Well, I ain't gonna shout her out, but I met this chick and she was lying to me through her teeth. She's like, I ain't got no surgery. I'm like, come on, man. You think I'm a fucking
Well,
idiot?
you asked someone that?
No, we were talking. It was just like this model, whatever.
And so you asked her that during the conversation. Did you get surgery?
Yeah. What the
I was
fuck?
getting lipo in December when we all.
yeah.
Nigga, you wish.
He's getting lipo.
Yo, I would 100% get it if I wasn't so pussy to die. Imagine.
Okay, we gotta go there,
Yeah,
y'all.
if I died on a operating table getting lipo, you wouldn't clown me? Be honest.
Would I clown you?
You would clown me.
I wouldn't clown you for
drop
fucking
your
dying.
album.
What's wrong with you?
Drop your album first.
My nigga, if I died
I'ma
while
clown you for getting
liposuction,
Maybe after 5 years. After we get over it.
You'd be like this bozo act. Stop playing, man. Listen, for the first, you'd probably like get your laughs in, and then
I'm not gonna laugh immediately.
On camera. Yeah, exactly, man.
I'll be like, yo, this nigga act is crazy.
Guys, thank you for watching Everyday Struggle. Wayno will be back with a new hairline. Academics with liposuction.
Wait, you gonna get that, bro?
Me
Right
with.
when we
Nah, I ain't getting no lipo.
We off. I'm gonna do it.
Guys,
do it?
come on. The rebrand.
I'll be dope.
Everyday Struggle rebrand. Slim Act.
Slim
Take care of
Act.
Wayno.
Now I'm gonna get braids.
I'll bleach
again.
all the way.
Wait, you know what I've been realizing though? Like, I actually like don't need like hairline shit, and I keep covering it up. I need to start showing my shit.
People think that you don't have a line.